to the second season of the PBA League. 8 star-studded teams owned by some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. Today, Chris Hardwick's Silver Lake Atom Splitters and franchise player Chris Barnes take on Bill O'Neill and the Philadelphia Hitmen, owned by funny man Kevin Hart, in a format that features singles, doubles, trios, and 5-on-5 team play. It's an all-or-nothing semifinal battle on the road to the Elias Cup final. The winner advances, the loser goes home, and it starts right now on ESPN. The PBA League is in session. Welcome to Thunderbowl Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. Mike Jakubowski, along with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler, working ringside. And here's how the PBA League stands so far here in 2014. We have our first finalist for the Elias Cup. The LAX have advanced. Semifinal action today featuring the Atom Splitters of Silver Lake taking on the Philadelphia Hitmen in team competition. Here's a look at the Philadelphia Hitmen, owned by Kevin Hart, managed by PBA Hall of Famer Jason Couch, featuring Bill O'Neill, Mike Devaney, and new additions Ryan Ciminelli, Dan McClelland with Josh Blanchard. Opposing the Silver Lake Atom Splitters in this semifinal, owned by Chris Hardwick and managed by Mark Baker. Franchise player Chris Barnes with Dom Barrett, new additions Wes Smollett, Tommy Jones, and Brian Smith. Kimberly Pressler is with Chris Barnes and Bill O'Neill. Kimberly.
Apparently we're with Barney now, too, as you can see here. So these two franchise players were instrumental in getting their teams here to the semifinals. And Chris Barnes, you guys had an impressive win to get here. You beat the Dallas Strikers 5-1. Did you change anything, like your new mental process coming into this, because it's a semifinals? You're only one away from the finals.
No, our approach is going to be exactly the same. Our lineup's going to be the same players in the same order. The only thing that's really changed is last time we bowled, I believe you were in all purple, which seemed to be good luck, and evidently you're going for the other team now. So.
Oh, no, that has nothing to do with that. Yeah, I just wanted us to clash. See?
Yeah,
See, we look good up here.
Well, mission accomplished.
Chris, do you think that you guys have what it takes to win this?
Well, we have lots of talent, obviously. We have a great team. I have the best teammates. So I'm going to rely on them. If we can get by my performance in the singles, I think we're okay.
Thank you for your time, Thanks. Chris. Now, Bill, as impressive as their win was, you guys swept the Jackrabbits to get here, which is pretty amazing because you're the only team to have done that. And you just heard him. He says he thinks they could win. What are your thoughts on that?
Of course he thinks he can win. You know, he always thinks he can win. He's got a big ego. But, you know, we got guys who can strike a lot here, and it's going to be a really tough test. These guys are really great bowlers, but we're looking forward to it.
Well, you have Ryan Ciminelli on your team, and he's the only left-hander on both teams. Do you think that's going to play into your strengths today?
I sure hope so. You know, Ryan's been bowling great, and his look out there is great, so he's going to bowl as much as humanly possible out there today. All
right. Well, thank you for your time, and good luck to both teams. Guys?
Thanks, Kimberly. We will begin with singles competition for 1 point. Singles and doubles, followed by trios, each earning 1 point. The team competition is a Baker team game worth 3 points. If there's a tie, we will have a roll-off to decide our finalists for the Elias Cup.
Keeping the south.
Chris Barnes will get things started. Randy Peterson, Jason Couch with some early psychological warfare.
That was pretty good. I got to admit, Jason Couch holding up the Barney poster behind Chris Barnes. The colors matched perfectly. A lot of players out here call Chris Barnes Barney, not because there's any connection with the purple dinosaur. It's just because of his last name. But you know, when he held up a picture of Barney, it started to really make sense to me.
You cannot escape the purple of the Silver Lake Atom Splitters. Now for the Philadelphia Hitmen in this singles game for 1 point. Franchise player Bill O'Neill through the 42 feet of blue oil, and he strikes.
Well, Mike J., you mentioned oil. It's 42 feet in length, and we have blue dye in the oil. Great tool that I can use to show the viewers at home just exactly where the players are playing, where they start playing, where they end up, how the oil transitions. This oil pattern lends itself to high scoring and has so throughout the entire league competition.
O'Neal, the four-time PBA Tour titleist, opens the singles game for 1 point with a double in the chatter between the teams.
Tommy Jones is no stranger to instigating trouble. The catalyst of the trash talking for the Atom Splitters, I promise you.
Enjoyed the chatter with Barnes and Jones and yourself on the PBA Super Clash. Here's Barnes in the second, and we're even a double. But that's a part of it. There's team competition, there's ribbing within the team, there's back and forth with the opposing team. It adds to the element.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why we have this. I mean, you have to expect it, and you've got the right ingredients for that to happen.
Chris Barnes, 16 years on tour, averaging a title every year, Triple Crown winner. Future Hall of Famer in the Professional Bowlers Association. Third frame, everyone has strikes.
Real strikes. Strikes. Yeah, shorter than you to be.
Mike J., I'm just curious who drew the Barney poster, because Jason Couch can't spell, let alone draw. Great shot here by Chris Barnes, though. That's Ted in the pit, and then he turns around and, yeah, Jason, I'm talking about you. I know there's no way that you drew that Barney.
Apparently, in this case, the pen is mightier than the bowling ball. O'Neal, third frame. 1 point singles game here. PBA League competition. Turkey up, peace.
Come on, Billy, give it back to him. I guess he's going to wait until this shot. Both players perfect through 3 frames. Bill O'Neal, like Chris Barnes did on this lane, catches a nice Wally Messenger. That's why you put spin and rotation on a bowling ball.
Randy, taking a look at Bill O'Neal's game, what element of his game stands out for you as what makes him among the elite in the PBA?
He's a kind of an old school form with the new school power.
High, 4-pin, no trip.
And what I mean by that is he's much more conventional. His body's much more square to the foul line, but yet he still has the high rev rate of the power players today. You look at that wrist roll around and snap through that bowling ball. Remember the last time on that lane, he did go just a pinch high. This time he leaves a 4-pin. So Bill, a little bit more traditional in style, but same amount of power that we see on a weekly basis on the tour.
Chris Barnes, a winner at the PBA World Series of Bowling 5 in Vegas, the cap-off last season as we enter the 2014 year here on the PBA Tour. Fourth frame.
Well, it doesn't get any better than this. See Chris playing about the 12th board, pretty straight out to about 8. Keeping it online and in play. One of the things that Mark Baker told us the last time we talked with him about how his team was going to play the oil pattern, he said it best. He said, well, my team's going to try to go straight as long as they can to preserve the integrity of the oil pattern.
Barnes perfect through 4. Opening 5 back. Dead solid.
Future Hall of Famer Chris Barnes, front 5. Bill O'Neal now steps up. 3-bagger, 9 spare, trailing by 21.
O'Neal's first title came back here at the very first World Series of Bowling, right in this building at the Chameleon Championship. O'Neal in the 5th, and he clears the deck. The Barnes 5-bagger has O'Neal 21 in the hole. Final 5 frames. 1 point for the singles game. We'll go to doubles next and then trios. a point apiece before our 3-point Baker team finale. The winner moves on to the Elias Cup Finals. Flat 10, then got it out of the flat gutter, kicked it with the head of the 6, and down goes the 10. So double for O'Neal, cuts the Barnes lead to just 11, and that's a big break. Here's our Barbasol close shave of the day, Randy.
Well, it gets a love tap from the 6 into the 10 in a nice way to finish the first half of this game for Bill O'Neal.
O'Neal trails by 11, 1 point on the line. We'll see how far Barnes can carry the strike string when we return to Thunderbowl Lanes. Semifinals are brought to you by Barbasol. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol. By HotelPlanner.com, the best place to book hotel rooms. Best rooms, best rate, guaranteed. By Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. And by Columbia 300. Grab some friends, have some fun. Let's bowl. PBA League action continuing at Thunderbowl Lanes just outside of Detroit, Michigan. Historic arena. Silver Lake Atom Splitters and the Philadelphia Hitmen. How did they get here in this Ebonite flashback?
Wes Malott was throwing lots of strikes for the Atom Splitters. Tommy Jones gets up in the 10th frame and he can seal the deal, but Tommy gets it wide. Ball doesn't get back, and he leaves a 2-8-10. Unable to convert, just taking out the 2 and the 8. Opens the door for Rhino Page and the Dallas Strikers. But a nasty messenger in front of the 7 seals their fate. Then it was time for the Jackrabbits to try to mount a comeback. Not winning a single point through the first 3 games. Too much Ryan Simonelli. And then this shot was the dagger. Eugene McCune goes light, leaves a bucket with a 7-pin. O'Neal with a strike, it's over. Or a spare, he just needs to convert the 10-pin. And the Jackrabbits were eliminated.
Philadelphia pitching the shutout to earn their way into the semifinals here in the PBA League. Hitmen, Atom Splitters. Our opening singles game continues for 1 point. Chris Barnes on the front 5, and Bill O'Neal has 5 of 6 strikes. Now Barnes up 6th frame, 11-pin lead. And that comes up high. 3, 4, 6, 7, 10.
Well, you know, some will say, well, that looks slow, but that slow can be caused by a couple of things. If the ball gets to the friction early, it's going to slow down. That's exactly what happened there.
That's got a hook.
Open frame and a lot of count lost.
Almost like 2 opens because of the fact that he went 5 and then 7 out.
So just that quickly, Barnes had command and a 5-bagger, and now open frame handing the lead to O'Neal. Now trails by 10 pins with O'Neal on the advantage with the double working.
Basically lost 20 pins. If he goes 9 spare, they're at 239. Right now they're at 219.
Recovering with the strike, Chris Barnes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I see it, but it
Must have been the one he was
We don't
shooting
want it
at.
over. We do not want it over this time from the pebble.
Tommy Jones in the mix. He's not going to let Bill O'Neal get one up on him. That's what makes Tommy one of the funner guys out here on tour.
O'Neal handed the lead on the bench. Now he can add to it. 7th frame.
Nice shot. You know, you wondered, hey, did Bill O'Neal make a move on that right lane before he got there after watching what Chris Barnes did? Just inside 3rd arrow. He is a little bit left of Chris Barnes at the arrows, and I wonder if that's affecting Barnes's ball reaction. If he's drawing up oil left of his target, Chris Barnes misses just a little bit inside, he's going to go high. Oh my. You don't see that every day when the ball comes in a little bit light and you shred the rack and leave a 4-pin.
Straight up the boards and a spare conversion for O'Neal. He maintains a 19-pin lead, opening singles game for 1 point. Doubles and trios to follow, a point apiece. And the 3-point team 5-player Baker game awaiting.
Barnes can get up right now and throw a strike in the 8th and 9th and regain the lead.
Closer.
59 works. You know, the crazy thing, even after that disastrous 6th frame for Chris Barnes, if he strikes out, he shuts out Bill O'Neal. He'll shoot 259. The best Bill O'Neal can shoot 258.
Mark Baker aware of that fact, saying 59, 59. Foundation frame for Barnes, strike to take the lead in this singles game. No doubt, Silver Lake in front.
Well, there's your lead change. Now O'Neal can put all the pressure back on Chris Barnes by striking out. Whatever O'Neal does, if he strikes in the 9th frame, whatever O'Neal does in the 10th, Barnes would have to do to win the match. Uh-oh.
Light, 2 in the 8.
Trouble. This is just a little bit left of target. Never gets far enough right into the dry boards and hydroplanes all the way to down the lane until it catches just a piece of the head pin.
Spare for O'Neal entering the 10th frame in the singles game. Barnes up 3 pins and the strike advantage heading into the 10th. Two strikes in the 10th for O'Neal would force a strike from Barnes in the 10th. 1 point still on the line. 10th frame. Randy, did you detect a difference between the left lane and the right lane at this point in the match?
There's been a difference between the left lane and the right lane throughout the entire competition. The right lane has more friction. The left lane has always been tighter for the right-handers throughout. And right now, Bill O'Neal 1 strike away from forcing Chris Barnes to throw the first strike in the 10th frame. So this is a big shot. This puts a little pressure on Chris Barnes. Just looked a little aggressive at the bottom of the swing, like he caught a little too much of it. said, Barnes needs a mark. Remember, he did have that disastrous open frame in the sixth, and that happened on the right lane.
Yeah. We might take 2.
You're allowed, sir.
I know.
236 finale for O'Neill. And Barnes will get a fresh set of pins.
You want another one?
Yeah, must have, because I thought the second one really good. I mean, after I like the work.
Now Barnes to secure the point for Silver Lake. Here in the 10th.
Best kind of mark right there.
I guess when you don't make a show in 3 years, you get awfully good.
Beautiful shot here.
Just leaving that to the advice, I guess.
I'm enjoying listening to these guys giving it to one another.
Wasn't planning on using it, but we'll go ahead.
Highest game ever on TV.
All about motivation.
248-236 winner, and Silver Lake Atom Splitters are up 1-0 over Philadelphia in this
4 pins.
PBA League semifinal. Doubles when we return, alternate shot style. Come on back. PBA League semifinal action rolls on at Thunderbowl Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. Silver Lake 1-0 over Philadelphia over a Chris Barnes win in singles. Kimberly Pressler is with our managers. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. So, Jason, I saw you sitting over there on the bench, trash talking a little bit to the opposing team. You held up that sign of Barney behind Chris Barnes. It didn't seem to affect him much. Was that your plan?
Well, it didn't affect him at all, which I would thought it would, but you know what? He's a great bowler, and I'm not surprised that we're down 1-0. They're both great bowlers, but this day is far from over.
It definitely is. You got any predictions for this one, though?
Oh, I think we tie it up right here. There's no doubt in my mind.
All right. Well, thank you for talking with us. And, Mark, you got a pretty stacked team over there. They're very good bowlers. What's it like for you to manage such a strong team?
It's a privilege. I mean, these are 4 or 5 of the best bowlers in the world. They're also my friends, so it's a lot of fun. We just kind of, Chris and I were talking, it'd be fun to go around the country and just bowl challenge matches anywhere. So if anybody at home has quite a bit of money and have 5 guys, we're good.
Well, Jason says they're going to match it up right now 1-1. You think that's true, or you guys going to beat them?
That's why we play the games, to see who wins.
All right. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kimberly. Mike Jakubowski along with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. And Randy, we've got talent and personality, and I think we're getting a little back and forth in both forms, personality and bowling.
I think you're right, but I like the fact that Mark Baker just called out the entire country and said, hey, put up or shut up. He'll take his team and bowl any 5-man team anywhere for any amount.
And that's certainly the attitude that that team brings. And let's take a look at that singles match and a point going to Silver Lake.
That was all Chris Barnes early, and then he ran into trouble in the 6th frame, but he rebounded nicely. Here's a couple of strikes late, 8th and 9th frame. Pressure back on Bill O'Neill. Bill O'Neill could have struck out and really put the pressure on. He got the first hit right there. Needs the next hit to put him in the 240s. He goes high, trips the 4th, 9-pin standing. Chris Barnes just needs a mark. And that's the best kind of mark right there, 10 in the pit.
Randy, what element makes Chris Barnes a first ballot Hall of Famer somewhere down the road?
Well, he's probably the best at strategy. He's the best tactician out here. He really thinks his way through tournaments. He always has a great game plan, and the execution is almost always spot on.
Coming up next, we will have doubles competition. Alternate Scotch doubles between the Silver Lake Atom Splitters and the Philadelphia Hitmen, Barnes and Smith, Simonelli and Blanchard. Coming up next. Silver Lake 1 point, Philadelphia 0, moving ahead to doubles here at Thunderbowl Lanes. Take a look at the 8 PBA League teams and this Columbia 300 Fun Fact with Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. The total number of PBA titles represented by the 8 teams in this year's PBA League is 307. The Dallas Strikers roster has the most with 62, and the Philadelphia Hitmen have the least with just 8.
Semifinal action continues. Chris Barnes, the winner of the 1 point in singles, will lead off here in doubles. If he doesn't strike, his partner will pick up the spare, but we have a strike for Barnes. Now our first look at Ryan Simonelli today, the left-hander for the Philadelphia Hitmen. Leading off here in our alternate shot doubles. 1 point on the line. And 7-pin.
And that's the first time he hasn't struck in this competition.
Chris Barnes teams with Brian Smith on the atom splitter. Simonelli left and Josh Blanchard from the right, covering the lane for the Philadelphia Hitmen. So after the Simonelli non-strike, Blanchard will get up and make the spare. Open frame.
That's not like Josh. He's a good spare shooter.
Little different opening with a spare ball, and in this case leaving the open frame. Simonelli back up at a full rack, and he strikes. It's an open frame strike for Philadelphia, already trailing 1 point to none. Trios for 1 point coming next before our 3-point team game. Alternate shot players will alternate and repeat throughout the game. First look at Brian Smith for Silver Lake, working on the Barnes strike, second frame. Way outside the picket fence.
Did the runner go?
Yeah.
I think Brian Smith hit his ankle on that shot.
Didn't shoot that one much.
Covers the picket fence, chops down the 1, the 2, the 4, and the 7.
Seemed like it was on purpose. Didn't know we were doing a trick shot.
Gets a chuckle out of Smith, loosen up that arm swing. Brian, Masters champion, major titleist on the PBA Tour. Third frame in our doubles. A little inside of target line, just the 4-pin.
Pretty straight.
Keeping him right on line.
Hasn't made a good shot yet. He's not real happy with himself. Don't let that wry smile fool you.
We got those two out of the way.
Barnes making spares, and now Josh Blanchard with his first shot at a full rack here in doubles. Blanchard out of Gilbert, Arizona, looking for his first PBA Tour national title. 2010 Collegiate Bowler of the Year, bowling for Gordon Vatican at Wichita State. Mixing strike for Josh.
Yeah, nice comeback for Josh Blanchard after missing the single pin spare.
Don't hurt yourself.
All right.
Ryan Simonelli back up now, and this isn't the first time Simonelli has tangled with a couple of atom splitters. Let's flash back to December in the World Series of Bowling, where Simonelli bowled for 2 PBA singles titles. The first time was against Chris Barnes in the PBA Viper Championship. Simonelli seemed to be well in control, but then catastrophe. A 7-10 split in the 10th derailed the Ryan Express, allowing Barnes to come back and take the win.
That's enough. Chris Barnes, 16-time titleist.
But just 1 week later, Simonelli had another chance going up against Adam Splitter and top seed Dom Barrett in the PBA Chameleon Championship. This time, Simonelli would not be denied, putting together a 5-bagger in the last half of the match for a 258, defeating Barrett by 55 pins.
Bring them in, baby! Yes! Yes!
And
oh my,
that 7-pin is going to stand.
How does that 7-pin has zero respect?
Blanchard now another crack at a single pin.
Yes. 50% on that spare.
Well, the average just jumped up a bunch for Josh Blanchard. Picks up the spare. Here's a look at Mark Baker, the manager for Chris Hardwick's Atom Splitters, 52 years old. 26 career TV finals appearances and the 85 George Young High Average Award winner. Led the PBA Tour that season in average.
There you go, Brian.
It was within an arrow. Kind of watching you for the last few years.
Brian Smith strikes there. He owns a bowling center, 34-laner in Roseburg, Oregon. Leaves a strike for his partner, Chris Barnes. The Atom Splitters currently up 1-0 over Philly. And a 1-pin lead here, and Barnes can add to it with another strike. 5th frame. Pretty. Right from the backswing to the follow-through. It just, you could just tell it was going to strike as he lets it go.
It's a great motion, and when it's online and he's letting go of it the right way with the good timing, yeah, he throws a lot of these shots.
Simonelli up also in the 5th, and he drills it back. So setting up his partner with a strike is the Ryan Express, Ryan Simonelli, for Blanchard.
Ryan looks like he's bowling on a house shot.
Shakes it out, so Blanchard picks up the double, and the Philadelphia Hitmen are within 1 again. Tight doubles within a pin. Chris Barnes, the form of a Hall of Famer, and the Philadelphia Hitmen doing battle in doubles. The young Blanchard will be back with more. Chris Barnes and Brian Smith up a pin against Silver Lake. Silver Lake has a 1-point advantage. It's time for BioBlast. Let's meet the owner of the Silver Lake Atom Splitters, Chris Hardwick, son of PBA Hall of Famer Billy Hardwick. Named after Chris Schenkel, founder of Nerdist.com, writer, contributor for Wired magazine, television host of At Midnight on Comedy Central. And Barnes and Hardwick teamed up back at the CP3 event in 2013, where they took down Bill O'Neill and the Philadelphia Hitmen owner, Kevin Hart.
Chris Hardwick was very instrumental in this team's victory. As you can see right here, Chris is pretty excited. Here's the winning shot. Can you tell?
Hoisting the CP3 Invitational Bronze Trophy. Barnes teaming up with Hardwick, the owner of the Silver Lake Atom Splitters. And now back to action. Silver Lake up a point and a pin. Doubles continues with Brian Smith working on the double for the Splitters. Smith, after a couple of errant shots, delivers a couple of strikes.
That's a little solid.
All right, Brian Smith's got his legs underneath him now, and he's feeling it. That was a pretty good shot there
Every third or fourth
by the
one,
former Masters champion.
One's eventually got to get there.
Now Barnes Silver Lake riding a turkey up in the 7th frame. Looking to go 2-0 on Philly. Ring 10 pin.
There she is. Shot. Spirit. Yeah, way to call the ring 10. You're a genius.
When Barnes left the ring 10, you could hear Jason Couch say, "There she is." To which Barnes replies, "Oh, call the ring 10, you're a genius."
I didn't say it. Your partner. Come on, kid.
A little back and forth. Now Simonelli, ball in hand, can tie things up here with another strike in the 7th frame, riding the double. And a strike and a turkey for Simonelli. We have an even game.
40 on the offense.
5-yard penalty.
Come on, take advantage of it.
Foul line adjustment.
Now handing off to partner to extend the string of strikes. Philly can take the lead. Stands. Darn close.
Well, he wanted that one to really put the pressure on the Adams Splitters. He could have increased the lead, but instead a pesky 4-pin.
Last one didn't hook. Throw up one more, right?
Simonelli picks up the spare. This alternate shot Scotch doubles format. Barnes back up for Silver Lake. He picked up the point in singles earlier. 1-0 Silver Lake over Philly. 8th frame. Through the 42 feet of blue oil and a strike for Barnes.
And a ball change.
Let's go. Brian, set it up right here. One time.
Just left the third arrow, pretty direct. Barnes and Smith, possible 248, but if Brian Smith doesn't strike here, they can get shut out.
So that's the nature of doubles. Without the strike, Barnes has to shoot the spare. Will not get another strike ball until Smith strikes. Covers up.
Sorry, Mike, they went from a possible 240 to now a high game of 228. Simonelli and Josh Blanchard can strike out for 237. The light mixer for Josh Blanchard. And there is a shutout in the making.
Simonelli for Philly can strike and take the lead. And Down goes the 7th pin.
Beautiful shot by Simonelli. Sets up Josh Blanchard to be the man. Even this match up at 1 point apiece with a strike right here by Josh Blanchard. Look out.
2 pin.
4 pins. Get it in.
Well, they needed that hit to shut him out. Chris Barnes, Brian Smith now need a double and 9. Talk about your back and forth match. All up to Brian Smith now. Last time on this lane, he threw a beautiful shot. Needs to do the same thing right now.
Philly on the board with 226, and Silver Lake needs 2 strikes. 10th frame. Slaps out the 10 for Brian Smith at Silver Lake. Handing the hammer to Barnes.
Remember, Barnes made a ball change the last time he was up on this lane, and he did strike.
Label it, drilled, strike.
Great shot. Brian Smith has to have 9. If he gets 8, we have a tie. There will not be a roll-off. Each team will split the point, half a point apiece. Brian Smith, 9 to win. That's good.
That's it. 228, 226. Silver Lake, 2. Philadelphia Hitmen, nothing. Impressive 10th frame.
Yeah, it really was. Brian Smith made 2 beautiful shots. Barnes, a great one right in the middle. Brian Smith, 10 in the pit. The Atom Splitters now take a 2-0 lead. Can they make it 3-0? Trios when we come back.
PBA League semifinals are brought to you by HotelPlanner.com. The best place to book hotel rooms, best rate, guaranteed. By Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. By Dexter, the #1 bowling shoe in the world. And by Storm, bowlers serving bowlers. Storm is the bowlers company. PBA League action rolls on. Semifinal match here at Thunderbowl Lanes. Head over to PBA.com and check out the new PBA Bowling Challenge game for your mobile device. The game, which has been updated for mobile and tablet devices, including iOS systems, allows you to bowl against the best PBA bowlers in dozens of events all over the country. New features include 40 different bowling ball options, quick play, and career mode options. Along with special bonus challenges, click on the mobile game link at PBA.com and get started. Kimberly Pressler is laneside. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. Brian, you had a huge 10th frame for your team, but you pulled through. You needed 2 strikes. You got that. Were you feeling any pressure?
Well, there's always pressure when you got to strike out in the 10th to win. I was feeling a little bit. Just wanted to make sure my first couple steps got slow, let my swing fall into the slot, and threw some good ones. So I was pretty happy with the way we finished that.
As well as you should be. Thank you for your time. And Ryan, you played pretty well in this past match, and this pattern seems to mesh well with you. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I like them. I threw a lot of strikes the prior match, and I hit the pocket every shot this match. Carry was not quite as good, and we missed one single pin, and that proved to be costly.
Well, you're also going to be in the trios. Are you going to change anything up?
No, I'm just going to make sure that my first step is long and I stay slow, so that I can give the ball a chance, like Brian said, to get into the swing, and everything else just falls into place.
Thank you for your time. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kimberly. Randy, Ryan Simonelli was the man to count on, all strikes, and just a slight hiccup there. What do we expect to see him in trios?
Well, Ryan Simonelli hasn't missed the pocket. In fact, in this game, it's the first time he hasn't struck in the entire event. The only reason why he missed not striking in this match every shot is because of a couple of bad shots of pin carry. Wasn't that he threw it bad? I mean, there was one massive messenger and another 7-pin, but Ryan Simonelli is locked and loaded. He cannot miss the pocket. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being their anchor bowler in the team event.
And we will see what happens in the team event. 1 point for trios, 3 points for team coming up. The sport and the game of bowling is full of adjustments. It's both the beauty and the challenge of the game, Randy. And in this edition of Track Tech Talk, you take a look at the art and the science of adjustments.
Yeah, we're going to go back a few tournaments ago when Wes Malott was bowling the Tournament of Champions. We're going to take a look at exactly the adjustments that he made. Now notice the color of the bowling ball that he's throwing and where his left foot is sliding. That was where he started. This is in the title match against Jason Belmonte. He changed bowling balls, and now he's sliding in the left gutter cap. Now here's a better view. I want you to watch the arrows and see where this ball is crossing. Check out that extreme angle to the right. The bowling ball is just slightly inside of third arrow, right around the 16th or 17th board. In the title match, he changes bowling balls. It's still the same angle. That ball crossed 22, so a good 5 to 6 boards left with not only his target, but his feet.
We've got a couple of games left remaining here in trios and in team, Randy. What adjustments are we going to see here and now?
I think the guys are going to continue to make the same adjustments. It's pretty simple. Look at the blue oil. You can see where it gets lighter. You move left of that and try to feed your bowling ball into the dry part of the lane. I mean, you just keep migrating into the center part of the lane. If you're right-handed, try to find some more oil. You never want your ball to hook early, because if it does, then it makes it that much more difficult to get to the break point.
And for the very first time, we can see the blue oil, and you can watch along at home with us. When we come back, 1 point, trios. Coming up, Jones, Barrett, Malott against Simonelli, O'Neill, and Dan McClelland. The crowd support has been fantastic in the Detroit area for the PBA League. Action continues. Trios coming now. Silver Lake 2 and Philadelphia 0. Top points earner here will advance to the Elias Cup Finals. For the PBA League Trios, Tommy Jones, Dom Barrett, and Wes Malott will line up for the Silver Lake Atom Splitters. For the Philadelphia Hitmen, Simonelli, Bill O'Neill, and Dan McClelland. Simonelli will bowl the first and 10th frames and lead off here for Philly.
And if Simonelli leads off, what does that mean?
He will bowl the first, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th, and he'll complete his frame.
Exactly. 10th frame.
Lefty.
The big frame, 10th frame. I'd make a great coach, by the way. Manager, coach.
You're going to have to put your resume in for the PBA League in the future.
You know what? Listen, if I didn't have to be up here with you, Mike J., I would be down there as a manager and a coach of a team, and I would really dig it. I mean, seriously, though, how hard is it to coach the greatest bowlers in the world?
Well, I would imagine it would be along the lines of coaching a great baseball team. You still have to put the right parts in the right place.
I mean, Couch got the job. How hard could it be?
And we roll on in trios. Tommy Jones will lead off for the Atom Splitters. And he makes a nice move at the pocket.
I've been saving that one for you all day.
Here we go.
What? You think my elbow was
he's
ahead of
my buddy.
First
Jason,
time that guy struck on TV in 2 years.
All roads lead to Jason Couch, manager for Philly.
First time he's been on TV in 10 years.
Yeah,
and he made a heck of a run in that career. PBA Hall of Famer, 16 titles with 4 majors, 3 Tournament of Champions in a row, and a Hall of Famer. He he earns his chops.
Tommy and Jason Couch, really good friends. Jason lives just 10 minutes down the road from me. Jason and I bowl in the same league together back home. He's unfortunately not healthy right now. He's struggling with a bad back. But he still comes down and roots his team on every Wednesday night. Claremont Bowl. Him and I been friends for a long time as well.
Don Barrett, PBA Tour champion at the World Series this year, strikes for Silver Lake. Now Bill O'Neill up for Philly in the second frame.
Ooh. Good strategy, though, by O'Neill and Jason Couch to put Simonelli that #1 spot that enables him to bowl anchor and bowl the 10th frame, if you will. I think that's a really good strategy. Nobody is messing with Simonelli's side of the lane.
Come on. Christ. Good, you man.
Spare for Philly, and Dan McClelland is up. First look at McClelland, finalist in this year's Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions. He went up against the great field of 4 major titleists there. Now McClelland up, third frame. Just high enough for a 4-pin.
I really like Dan McClelland's game. He's versatile. He can go straight. He can hook it. He's got the high backswing and a lot of power and not a lot of excess movement. You watch his head. His head is real steady for a power player. Not a lot going on there.
They call him Dan the Man, and Dan fills the frame. First look at Wes Malott in trios. U.S. Open
Got a new
champion.
nickname this week, if y'all didn't realize yet. Thanks to my teammates.
Just because we love you.
I don't love you yet.
Big Wes Malott with a big strike.
Well, Wes Malott makes it look pretty easy, doesn't he? This big guy gets the ball, little figure 8 in that backswing, and then one of the best releases on tour does the rest. You ask any player out here, they'll tell you that Wes Malott's release creates more area out here than probably anybody else.
Silver Lake plus 21. Tommy Jones up in the 4th. Light hit, shakes the 7 out.
You got in the Hall of Fame doing it. What's the problem?
Spray it more.
Okay, so I can interpret that for you if you'd like. Hang on, let's watch Ryan throw a shot here. So Jason Couch, in making the sprinkler gesture, is insinuating to Tommy Jones that Tommy's throwing it all over the lane.
That's the one, like, for some reason, I can't see my neck like everything comes this way, because my neck, because you don't see it that straight. No, it has nothing to do with it. And for some reason, I'm having my feet next door. I can't get it in the right spot. And it's all because of going to gravel last week. I feel so slow. I mean, I stood up there and tried to go as slow as I could. I couldn't.
Sounds like Tommy Jones may be looking to manager Mark Baker for help and how he should be playing the lanes today.
Light again. This time on the left lane.
Let's say Jones on the back.
Always do.
Once again, going light, this time leaving the 4-pin instead of the 2-8. Bill O'Neill's reaction, not great right now. And not a good thing when you're on the Hitman's team, when you only have 1 strike and 4 spares in a row, and you're bowling against a team that's already got a 2-0 lead, and they've got 4 strikes in a row.
Randy, one of the top talented Europeans in the game, PBA world champion and finalist at the Tournament of Champions, Dom Barrett.
If that was a question, yes, I agree with you.
What makes him one of the preeminent players in the game?
Well, he's gotten a lot smarter. He's always had the power, but he's learned how to do different things with his ball roll. He's learned what equipment to use and when, and he's learned how to read the lanes more front to back. And what that means is he's able now to control the front part of the lane and the back part of the lane when he has to.
Barrett puts a strike on the board. A lot looking to add to it. And he mixes out a strike.
Set him up, set him up.
Big lead from Silver Lake and a 2-point advantage, looking to go 3-0. Tommy Jones putting strikes on the board. All of the splitters putting strikes on the board in trios. The rest of our trios game is next. PBA League rolls on in trios competition. Silver Lake Atom Splitters and the Philadelphia Hitmen in the semifinals. It's a bio-blast with Kevin Hart, the owner of the Philadelphia Hitmen, one of the hottest entertainers out there. Hosted the 2012 MTV Video Music Awards, voted 2012 BET Award for Best Actor. He's got box office hits including Grudge Match and Ride Along, and stars in Real Husbands of Hollywood. Well, as we mentioned earlier, Hart is a 2-time participant in the Chris Paul PBA Celebrity All-Star Invitational, where he spent much of his time keeping everyone laughing. But at last year's event, Hart and Philadelphia Hitmen franchise player Bill O'Neill made it all the way to the finals and almost took home the coveted CP3 trophy. The 2 Hitmen losing by just 3 pins in the final match to Chris Hardwick and Chris Barnes of the Silver Lake Atom Splitters. And fast forward here to 2014, and the Hitmen are down 3 pins plus 50 to the Atom Splitters in trios, and 2-0 overall in the match. Dan McClelland up here in the 6th. Only 1 strike so far in this game for the Hitmen. That's a good way to start from Dan McClelland.
Come on. Back half, let's go.
Danny Mac trying to do his job of getting his team pumped up. He's throwing the strikes. He's got the crowd behind him. Local favorite.
Simonelli for Philly. Trying to get the first double on the board here in trios. And does it in shaky fashion, but they all fall down.
Yeah, they deserve a break.
Oh, nobody's more nervous than me right here.
How hard he goes through it at the bottom of the swing. Trips the 6-7 late. And hopefully start of good things to come. Now, you know, we almost had a 300 game in singles. We almost had 1 in doubles. We have a chance at getting 1 in trios. And the answer to that would be no.
Couple pins made contact with the 10, but nothing knocked it down.
Please don't shoot this like vodka. I know.
9 out, back in the game, kid.
Oh, he's referring to Dave Watka when he missed 1, and Jason Couch would like nothing better than to see Tommy Jones whip the 10 pin.
Not gonna happen.
And Stabs even saw that with his good eye.
Jason asking for the foul. That's the equivalent of throwing the red flag when the replay is even against you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
No
Tommy
pressure now.
looked over at the foul line judge, Sabatine, and Mark said, no, it was good.
Don Barrett up for Silver Lake. And he rings a 10.
I didn't know you yanked at 3. It was a good toss.
that how that works out here?
Right.
I knew he was shooting.
Where's the fly?
Four-year pro out of Colchester, England, completes the spare. And 41-pin lead, but Philly has got some strikes working. Randy and a couple of frames to work with.
Yeah, well, they better not miss if they want any chance to win this. Atom splitters are already in the 240s. Max score for the Philly Hitmen is 247.
Bill O'Neill drills the rack. Minus 31 now, the lead.
I know that's 20 more than you guys were expecting, but I did it.
Well, after going light back-to-back shots, Bill O'Neill finally finds the line and makes a great shot there for 10 in the pit and a three-bagger for the Hitmen.
Important shot here. This keeps pressure on Silver Lake. Dan McClelland working the turkey for Philadelphia. Foundation frame. And that skates wide, just the 2-pin.
Really?
Well, the Hitmen are in a hole, and I'm not talking pothole, I'm talking sinkhole.
Philly trailing 2-0, on the verge of going down 3-0. The 3-point team Baker game is next, and if it holds, Philly would need to win that to force a roll-off. 9th frame, West Malott for Silver Lake, and he rings at 10.
You saw it too. Hey.
We're seeing a little bit of lane transition here, Randy, as the 10-pin starting to pop up.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I mean, the carry's not very good right now, and the lanes are always changing, but they get to a point where the carry's bad, and then you got to just kind of hang in there and move through that, and then they'll transition again to where the carry gets good again.
Oh, I told you. We got light. We got light. You're implying I'm going to get it online. Here, hold that. 4-9 in the pebble.
If Tommy Jones doesn't mark in the 10th frame, believe it or not, the Hitmen still have a chance to win this game. He needs any mark. Oh, my. That was close.
Quick strike out 1 by 1.
Saw that with Jones once before.
Come on, boo-boo.
Now just a single pin.
Do you have to bowl in the 10th? Never again. You don't? You're done? No. That's not good. I knew if Billy had to bowl in the 10th, we were good, but... Thanks. That's what I'm here for. Huh? You can look it up if you want. Oh. That's what I'm afraid of on that lane.
That's enough, 233, and Silver Lake has a 3-0 advantage over Philly.
Well, this match turned ugly late.
Early, so I don't know. I mean,
the missed spare and a bunch of 10 pins. As good as the Atom splitters got off, as good a start as they got off to, man, it went south. You know, they started with a front 6 and they never struck again. Fortunately for the Hitmen, they're going to be eliminated from this competition. Ryan Simonelli, rock solid. And I say they'll be eliminated from this competition unless they win the team event and then win a roll-off.
Substitution here, as Mike Devaney will get a couple of shots here in the 10th frame.
What did I do?
Randy, there's a lot to be learned, even throwing 2 shots on a competition pair.
Well, yeah, he's going to throw 2 shots in the next game. He's trying to get a feel of at least the right lane. And they change so fast with so many right-handers and rep rates that are so high. You know, it's kind of hard to stay in front of it, but it kind of gives them a little bit of an idea of where to play.
Final score, Silver Lake 233-216. All Silver Lake. Singles, doubles, trios, all to the splitters. 3-0 lead. Team for 3 points when we come back. PBA League team warm-ups. 3-point team game is coming to decide our finalists for the Elias Cup. And here's a look at our brackets and the teams. LAX and New York City WTT Kingpins. LAX advances to the Elias Cup Finals 5-1. And we'll get our second finalist. Silver Lake currently leads 3-0 over Philly. Elias Cup Finals April 13th, 2 Eastern on ESPN. Watch out for flying balls. Don Barrett having some fun.
I mean, that was just great. Kimberly's down lane trying to set up for an interview, and you guys just followed everywhere. That was classic Brit humor from Don Barrett.
And Kimberly Pressler is with an upright Tommy Jones and Jason Couch. Kimberly.
That's right. We're all standing upright still. A little bit scary there. Tommy, you all right? You almost got hit by a flying ball.
Yeah, that Don Barrett, he got one flying by me, so I'm going to have to come up with something, but hopefully we win this match first.
Well, you're getting hits left and right here because Jason Couch has been making, you know, trying to get in your mental game for a little bit now. Is it working?
No, not at all. The only thing that scares me about Jason is he doesn't like to fight in his own weight class, and he's got me by about 50 pounds, so I'm a little nervous in case he decides to sit on me.
Now let's talk about this past match, the trios. You guys were playing really well, and then that 10-pin just kept sticking for all 3 of you, actually, towards the end. What are you going to make? What kind of adjustments are you going to make going into the teams match?
Well, we're going to go over and talk about, you know, the guys are still warming up a little bit, so we'll talk about how the lanes have changed and try to get that out and hopefully start out the same way we did last time and put them away early.
All right. Thank you, Tommy, for your time. Jason, so the Philadelphia Hitmen, they had to sweep. Actually, they did sweep the Jackrabbits in order to get here into the semifinals. And right now, you guys are in danger of possibly being swept yourself. What do you have to do to rally the troops?
Kimberly, listen, we're not getting swept. We're going to run these guys over in this match. They've got a couple of weak links in Don Barrett and Tommy Jones, so one of them's going to split at some point. My boys are fine. We're hitting the pocket every shot. We just got to carry the pins, and we're going to go to sudden death.
Well, you're making some serious predictions there. We'll see how it all pans out. Guys, back to you.
Randy, fellow Claremont, Florida resident, do you agree with Jason Couch? Is there a split in the future for the Silver Lake Adams Splitters? That's a tough lineup, and the lane pattern has changed. Kerry did get a little squirrely.
Absolutely not, Mike. It's not happening. I mean, I don't see how the Hitmen can come back and win this thing. First of all, on paper, Chris Barnes' team is the best team in this league, and, you know, they're proving it. I don't see them losing the team game. I think they're as loose as they could get, judging by what Tommy Jones just said to Jason Couch and what Don Barrett did. They've got, you know, all the momentum on their side. They're bowling great. They're hitting the pocket. They're not going to lose.
Given the lane transition, what is the move to make? What do you anticipate coming up in this Baker team game?
It's going to be the same. They're going to move in. They're going to relay the information. The number 1 player in the step or in the Baker format will come back and he'll tell the other teammates, hey, I moved such and such on the right lane. I moved this much on the left lane. And it's just going to filter through the entire roster. They're going to know the moves. They're going to know what to do. They're going to know where to stand, what ball to throw, and they're going to throw good shots. They're going to strike a lot.
Well, how did Silver Lake get to 3-0 in this match? How about the Geico Championship recap? And remind us, Randy.
Well, it all started in a singles match. Chris Barnes against Bill O'Neill. Chris gets off to a red-hot start, throwing the front 5. He did split in the 6th frame, but he came back nicely, striking the 7th, 8th, and 9th frame. Bill O'Neill did have a chance getting up in the 10th to apply some pressure to Chris Barnes if he doubles. He got the first hit. And second ball in the 10th, he goes a little bit high, leaving the 9th pin. Barnes, any kind of good mark, he wins, and that's a really good mark. 248-236 winner for Chris Barnes. Then in doubles, it was Ryan Simonelli and Josh Blanchard taking on Barnes again. This time he partnered up with Brian Smith. This match was pretty close, going back and forth. Josh Blanchard leaving that shaker 2. Brian Smith gets up. He throws a beautiful strike there. He needs 2 in the 10th. The first one you just saw. The second one seals the deal for the Atom Splitters. Then in the trio competition, the Beast, Wes Malott, doing what he does best, throwing strikes. Bill O'Neill had a nice hit for himself and his teammates as well. This match was a landslide to start. The Atom Splitters didn't strike again after the 6th frame. Tommy Jones just needed a mark, though, to win. He leaves the 4-pin and converts, and it's a clean sweep for the Atom Splitters.
When we return, we will find out who will meet Chris Paul's LAX in the Elias Cup Finals. Stay with us. In pursuit of the Elias Cup, the PBA League continues. Silver Lake Atom Splitters, 3 points. Philadelphia Hitmen, none. And now a 3-point Baker team game. Philadelphia needs to win this game to force a roll-off, a tie or a win, and Silver Lake advances to the Elias Cup Finals. 5 players will combine for 1 team score, and getting things started for Philly is Dan McClelland. Teams will bowl 5 frames on 1 lane, and then we'll switch for the final 5 frames. Great look here at the backswing and follow through of Dan the Man McClelland. Pretty shot, slaps the 10 out. Here's your lineup for the Philadelphia Hitmen. Dan McClelland just led off. He'll bowl again in the 6th frame. Mike Devaney 2 and 7. Blanchard fills the middle. O'Neill and Simonelli on the back end, foundation and anchor. Brian Smith leading off for Silver Lake here in the Baker team. And he explodes that round for a strike. And the lineup for the Atom Splitters. Smith led off, followed by Barnes and Barrett. Foundation and anchor, Malott and Jones. Mike Devaney 2 and 7 in this Baker team game now. Toes the line here, 2nd frame. 7.
I'm not sure I agree with the lineup for the Atom Splitters. I don't know if I wouldn't flip-flop Tommy Jones and Wes Malott. I mean, Wes Malott is bowling as good as anybody on the planet. He's bowled really good in this competition. His ball reaction looks like it's better than Tommy's. Tommy's reaction has been a little suspect, Mike.
We've seen it in the 10th frame on a couple of matches.
I mean, that last 10th frame that he bowled, he came up light, needs a mark. He came in really light, leaving that shaker 4-pin. Could have been a 2-4-8-10 easy.
So Mark Baker set the lineup. We'll see how things progress to this point. Pulling all the right triggers. 3-0 for Silver Lake, and now Chris Barnes bowling 2 and 7 for Silver Lake.
Make a pretty good argument for having this guy bowl anchor as well. I'm not going off of who I think is better than who. I'm going strictly off of ball reaction and what I've seen. Tommy Jones is a future Hall of Famer. Chris Barnes is a future Hall of Famer. Wes Malott's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, we're comparing apples to apples. I'm going based off of this oil pattern, ball reaction that I've seen throughout this event. Tommy's ball reaction versus Chris Barnes, Wes Malott's. I think I would have put a different player at anchor. That's all I'm saying.
Josh Blanchard up, 3rd frame. Philly must have this game. 7. And the 10.
And that's kind of how it's gone for the Hitmen throughout this competition on this telecast. They,
red grips in it.
You know, they've thrown good shots, they've hit the pocket, but they've just not
That's it.
Gotten the breaks or carried some of these corner pins, and that's been the difference. Jason Couch predicted they would win this match. And then it would have to go to a sudden death. And right now they're already trailing by 11, and
if I get it in from here,
we're only through 2.5 frames.
I'm such an in-between zone right there.
Don Barrett up now for Silver Lake. Chance to step on the gas here for Silver Lake, working on the double. Nice shot from Barrett. He takes up 4, 5, and 7 quickly.
Well, there's a nice pin carry there for Don Barrett. Solid teams. Barnes, Barrett, Malott, Tommy Jones, Brian Smith.
O'Neal, solid strike in the fourth. He'll load up his anchor player for the first chance to double for Philly here in this 3-point Baker team game.
That's good.
You look at the atom splitters from top to bottom. All major championship winners.
5 strikes. Important to remember, the opening 5 frames are in 1 lean, and then we'll switch for frames 6 through 10. Now the anchor players in play. Simonelli first for Philadelphia, working on the strike, 5th frame.
They got the right guy bowling anchor, I think.
Make them work.
Brian Simonelli's been a rock for this Hitmen team. Just watch the reaction of Tommy Jones. I want you to watch it very, very closely compared to what you've just seen through his other 4 teammates.
That wasn't good for the red team.
5 players, 5 frames, 5 strikes. Can they continue and advance to the Elias Cup? Come on back and find out next. The PBA League semifinals are brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. By Barbasol, Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. By the USBC, the national governing body servicing the needs of bowling. To learn more, visit us on bowl.com. And by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. The PBA League, second season featuring 8 teams representing the greatest bowlers in the world. 3-point team game, Silver Lake Atom Splitters, a 3-point lead and a 31-pin lead. And the fans are into it here at Thunderbowl Lanes. We've now switched lanes. And Brian Smith with his final pitch. 6th frame and all strikes for Silver Lake. Great release and follow through right through the target line. Strike and a 6-pack.
That was a great shot by Brian Smith out of the commercial break, and they are still perfect now after 6 frames. You know, when you're bowling like this, it really doesn't matter what your lineup is like, what the order is.
McClelland up, trying to extend the string of strikes. And that's 3. Philadelphia trying to stay alive. They need this team game to force a sudden death roll-off.
Well, they're in that can't-miss category now where they need to strike out to have any chance to win this game.
Perfect from the first. Barnes up 7th frame. Manager Mark Baker looks on at his Silver Lake Atom Splitters owned by Chris Hardwick. Barnes comes up high and the streak is done at 6. 4-pin.
I didn't know if it was going to go wide or high, though.
Remember, the teams have now flip-flopped lanes. Atom Splitters started on the left lane. They're now on the right lane. And Chris Barnes, you heard him say, was unsure whether it was going to hook or go light. Look out. Okay. You know, I'm not really sure why Brian Smith, you would think, would come off the lanes and say, okay, this is where I stood. This is where I was looking. This is the adjustment. This is the difference on how I played this lane versus the left lane. Relay that information to Chris Barnes. And if he did, I didn't see it.
Key shot here for Devaney. Needs a strike to keep Philly close. 7th frame. Devaney delivers. Slaps the 7 away last.
All right, guys, one shot at a time. Let them have the pressure.
How much different are you playing?
I moved my feet and didn't move my target.
You hear the conversation there. I moved my feet and I didn't move my target. He didn't tell him how many boards he moved his feet. Don Barrett now stepping up. I don't know if he got any intel from Chris Barnes or Brian Smith. Shot there.
All right, come on. Good job.
Don Barrett delivers in the 8th.
Where's my Bonnie flag on?
And now Devaney passed on what he learned to Blanchard, and an immense shot in the 8th. He can cut that lead down to just 10 pins. 3 points. Philly must have this to force a roll-off to reach the Elias Cup Finals. Light bucket.
What is it?
It's underneath you.
Ball never hooked, leaves the bucket, so bad enough that he didn't strike to keep the string going, but now he lost count as well.
Bless it.
Swear.
Spare ball, nice shot at the bucket. The 2-4 and the 5-8 are converted. But getting late, running out of frames, and now Silver Lake has a strike up. Here's your hammer, tough spare replay.
And the bucket converted perfectly by Josh, but he's going to be disappointed knowing that he missed an opportunity there to cut the lead to 10 pins.
Foundation frame a lot. Slaps the 10 out. Quality pocket hit.
He slapped the 10 out every shot he's thrown in this match. I mean, since we came on the air, this guy has done nothing but strike. That's why, I mean, I would have loved to have him bowling in my anchor position as we pass the Barney scorecard.
You even got the name. I can't steal that one from you.
Tommy Jones could shut him out in the 10th frame. And he can throw the first strike. Let's see, max score for the Hitmen, 245. Tommy Jones would just need a mark and good count. And that's if Bill O'Neill and Ryan Simonelli strike out.
Oh, ring 10.
Tommy just needs
is about right.
Good count and no mark now.
No, it's a no. There we are.
Can I hit
6 pins is all Tommy Jones needs.
He'd never hear feet behind him, right? Ever in his life?
And that's a winner. Mark Baker's Silver Lake Atom Splitters, owned by Chris Hardwick, have advanced
They looked around
to the PBA League Alliance Cup Finals.
We wouldn't need much in the 10th, so they just stuck me there.
Well, Tommy, you're a great bowler.
Future Hall of Famer. Although, Randy, that 2-8 would suggest that you were right about the ball reaction.
Sub in the coach.
I just thought there were some ball reactions that were better than his.
He's in. Come on,
Mark Baker subbing him in. He's going to throw a shot. This is awesome.
He's still got enough.
PBA Tour champion. Talked to Mark about his career, and the famous quote is,
I got sucked.
I had some fun, and I threw some strikes in my career.
6, I'll take that.
Here comes Bakes.
It's about 2,000 right there. Thank you. A little small on that thumb. It came off.
That is an illegal delivery. Will not count to the final score, but Tommy Jones had enough.
Make it not matter.
And the Silver Lake Atom Splitters
You can hand that back now.
have advanced to the Elias Cup Finals and will face Chris Paul's LAX. Simonelli and the Hitmen doing what they could, Randy, but just couldn't punch through.
Just too much from the Atom Splitters. It's a great team over on the other side, and I mean, this is a pretty solid team, too. Ryan Simonelli was just awesome, as was Dan McClellan.
One more. Come on, Mouse.
Jason Couch
It's awful quiet over there when you get the scoop, isn't it?
turns out an
If I throw a right-handed
opportunity.
strike, you back? By what?
Come on, Jason. Get up and throw the last shot. Come on, Jason. Come on, Jason.
There he goes.
There we go. I think he's going to throw it right-handed now. A little side wager with Tommy Jones.
Chance to celebrate the career of a great Hall of Famer, Randy, Jason Couch.
Left-handed.
If I throw a right-handed strike, you guys buy, right?
Yeah.
If I throw it between my legs and hit a pin, you can't get between your legs. You got little arms.
Coming with the offhand, a Hall of Famer.
Come on. Pretty good right-handed. Don't forget, Jason Couch is a southpaw.
The Silver Lake Atom Splitters have advanced to the Elias Cup Finals and will join the LAX. Final score in this match, a shutout, 6-0 over the Philadelphia Hitmen. Look for the Elias Cup Finals, the LAX versus the Silver Lake Atom Splitters, April 13th at 2 Eastern on ESPN. Hall of Famer Randy Peterson is with Hall of Famer Jason Couch.
Thanks, MJ. Jason, even though you came out on the short side, you still looked like you were having a great time. Describe how much fun this was for you to manage this team.
You know, when you get to draft a team, you get to get your players. I mean, now I know what it feels like to be a Major League Baseball manager or an NBA guy. I just, you know, that's my team, and I live and die by my team. And you know that. I've always worn my emotions on my sleeve, and I just love it. I had a great team. I would take them again in a second, and I know we'll beat those guys next year.
All right, and final question for you, Jason. What was it like when your teammates urged you to get up and throw that last shot in the 10th frame?
I realized why I don't bowl anymore, because it wasn't very good, but that's it.
Yeah, but you threw it right-handed.
I did throw it right-handed. I figured I could, you know, egg him into a bet and maybe get, you know, a free beer out of it. But what are you going to do?
That's great. Will I see you Wednesday night at League?
Yes, you will, always.
All right, buddy. Thanks for your time.
Yep.
Jason Couch taking the defeat well. His team swept the Pittsburgh Jackrabbits to get to today's semifinal and then get swept themselves by an overpowering Atom Splitters team. Let's go to Kimberly with the winners.
Thanks, Mike. Tommy, Jason Couch tried his best to get into your mental game, and you didn't allow him to. How much does this win mean to you, beating him and doing it with a complete shutout?
Well, you know, words really can't describe it because, I mean, he was good before I was on tour, and I never actually got to see him throw a relevant double on tour. So with that being said, him sitting on the bench, it was kind of a dream come true that he was up there with me, but I know he's not the same caliber anymore.
And I see him still getting his little jabs in right there, right there. And now, Wes, you guys are going against a heavy hitter. You guys are going against LAX and Jason Belmonte. He's got a lot of momentum going behind him right now. Are you guys going to make any adjustments going into the finals?
Well, I mean, obviously LAX is also where I came from as well. So, you know, we have a great team here. I think we're all one, you know, as a whole. I got everybody that has my back as well. So bring it on. Again, I've still got that chip on my shoulder. Jason's got it coming back, so it should be a good match.
Now let's talk to the manager who got to go out there and actually throw a ball. First of all, how fun was that?
Well, the result wasn't too good. The only bad shot my team thrown was mine.
Now let's think ahead here. You guys are going up against Jason Belmonte, and I just asked this from Wes, but seriously, they are a tough team. Are you going to make any adjustments because you know it's them who you're going up against?
I think you're asking the question backwards. What are they going to do to compete against us?
Whoa, there you have it. All right, well, I know this finals game is going to be amazing. Congratulations. You guys leave Detroit victorious.
Next Sunday, 2 Eastern, it's the PBA League Elias Cup Finals. The LAX versus the Silver Lake Atom Splitters in singles, doubles, trios, and team competition next Sunday at 2 on ESPN. With 5 major championship winners, 3 of whom are former Players of the Year, the Silver Lake Atom Splitters were just too much today for the Philadelphia Hitmen. And with that, they are one step closer to capturing the Elias Cup. For Randy Peterson and Kimberly Kressler, this is Mike Jakubowski. We'll see you next week in New Jersey for the 2014 Elias Cup Finals. LAX versus the Silver Lake Atom Splitters.